Guys, we just bought this grain silo right here, and it's going to be a sweet addition to the Sweet 16. Man, I got a great big huge plan for this thing. I haven't shared that with you guys, but we are here right now getting it loaded up, or trying to figure out how to get it loaded up. I'm telling you, this thing is big. And Rob brought his trailer. My trailer had the Mini X already on it, so we couldn't use my trailer. So Rob showed up this morning with his truck and trailer, and we're going to try to put this big old grain silo on Rob's 16-foot trailer, take it to the Sweet 16, and then we're going to have to figure out a way to get that dude unloaded. You know what I'm saying? But stay tuned. We're going to get this thing loaded one way or another. I'm glad you're here. This is the Grain Silo Show. You know what I'm saying? Don't go anywhere. Guys, look at the size of this thing on that 16-foot trailer, man. It is huge. Guys, look at that beautiful, perfect fit. These guys right here did an awesome job loading that up, man. It's like they do it every single day for a living, you know what I'm saying? It is perfect. Raised it up, drove the trailer up underneath it, and then they just pushed it on up the rest of the way, man. That worked out beautifully. Now, me and Rob got to figure out how to get this thing off whenever we get to the Sweet 16. I got a few ideas, but we'll see if any of them works. Guys, we got this thing loaded up. I picked this up from my buddy Garrett right here. Garrett, thanks, brother. He's going to be on the lookout for another one. Hopefully we can get two. So we got this thing loaded, man. We're going to strap it down, and we'll catch y'all back at the Sweet 16. Guys, we made it to the truck stop, and we're just right down the road from Sweet 16. We're taking a little pit stop. I got to run in and grab a Monster, take a little tinkle, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, we got the Tundra up the hill with the Mini X. We're going to get that offloaded, and then we're going to worry about bringing up Rob's truck and the grain silo. So don't go anywhere. The fun's just now getting going. Oh, look what I just found. Check this out. Look at this. All right, guys, got the Mini X unloaded, got the trailer dropped. We're gonna go down the hill and we're gonna get the grain silo, and hopefully we won't have no problems getting that dude hauled up the hill, you know what I'm saying? So let's go see what we can do.
Close one.
Got it. Guys, how'd you like that, man? We got that silo off, no problem. You know what I'm saying, man? Boom! Comes crashing down to the ground. You can see that lid kind of got a little dent in it, but I ain't too worried about it. Once I get that dude pulled apart, I'm gonna have to fix stuff. I'm gonna be pounding out dents and stuff like that. But I can't wait to show you guys what we're gonna use that for. Guys, that's gonna do it for today, man. I want to say special thanks to my buddy Rob. Rob, thanks for coming today, brother, man. He helped me haul that dude. He did all the drone footage today, which is awesome. Thanks so much for being here. If you're not subscribed, what are you waiting on, man? Hit that subscribe button. If you liked any part of this video, give me a great big huge thumbs up, like, and if you got anything to say, just drop it right there in the comments. That's all you got to do, guys. That's gonna do it for this one. We'll catch y'all on the next video. Peace. Guys, every good homestead gotta have a grain bin laying around, you know what I'm saying? And there's one other thing. If y'all have been with me long enough, you already know what I'm gonna say. One thing you gotta have if you're gonna have a good homestead is a spool. Every good homestead needs a spool, you know what I'm saying? And a grain bin, grain silo, whatever you want to call them. You need one of them laying around. And you got to get a truck bed camper. And just in case one truck bed camper's not enough, you got to have 2 truck bed campers, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, let's not forget. You got to have your IBC tote. You know, all homesteaders got to have those totes, you know what I'm saying? And if you're lucky, you'll have an old door right there leaning up against the tote, just laying out here in the weather and everything. Maybe you'll use it for something later on down the road, you know what I'm saying? So just kind of going around and showing y'all what good homesteaders really need at their homestead. If you want to be a professional homesteader, there are like 10 things you got to have. I've already went through like 3 or 4 of them. But next up on my list is a half-built tiny house, okay? All homesteaders need a half-built tiny house, all right? Moving on to the next thing is right down here. Boom. Bugs. You got to have bugs, okay? If you're going to have a homestead, you got to have bugs. It's a requirement. Way down there, right where my finger's pointing, boom, is a sawmill, okay? It always helps if you're going to have a homestead that you have a sawmill. So we made sure and got one of those. We got the grain bin, we got the spool, we got the half-built tiny house, the sawmill. I got a lean-to back there. Where is it? Where's my finger? Oh my goodness, it's so far back there. I'm gonna have to get a close-up to show you guys the lean-to. So we got a lean-to that never quite got finished, but I did get a roof on it. That was the main thing I was worried about. Okay, coming up next, 10 things you gotta have to be a homesteader right here. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to have an old rusty tractor. That's a little hard to start. Tires are a little bit bald. He runs a little bit rough. He leaks a little bit of hydraulic fluid. Every homestead needs one of these. Even if you don't use it, just to be sitting around like a paperweight, or like I like to call them props, you know, for like whenever you're filming and stuff. You can get the tractor perfectly like in your frame, just like you want it and everything. So everybody needs a old-timey tractor prop. And let me get you down here to the sawmill. I think that's about 7 or 8. One other thing on what you need if you're going to be a homesteader, some piles of metal. You see that back there? Just random metal piled up. I got some square tubing, some angle iron, things like that. You kind of want to throw that over by your sheet metal. And just leave it out. Just let it sit out all the time so that it can get real nice and rusty and look, and it'll give like your tiny houses more character, you know what I mean? So that's kind of the plan right there. One thing a homestead needs is some big random tanks, okay? These are old fuel tanks. You can use these for a number of things, okay? What I'm going to use these for, I have no idea right now, but I promise you someday I'm going to use those tanks. So it's a dang good thing we got them, and I got them for free, so that's some icing on the cake, all right? One of the next things you're going to need, all right, moving right along, one of the next things you're going to need is a random propane tank. Okay, I also got that for free. I mean, hey, you want this propane tank? Why would I say no to a sphere propane tank? I mean, I could turn this thing into anything. I could cut it in half. I could use it to build like a really cool grill. I could also maybe fill it up with propane and just use it as a propane tank. Another cool thing I could do with it is maybe paint something on it, make it look like an orange, or maybe make it look like the world or something like that. It does have some rings on the top to hook it. I did think about making it into a giant disco ball, so we would just glue mirrors all over it and hang it real high somewhere and point lights up at it, and it would be like a giant disco ball up here on the Sweet 16. You know, maybe you could even see it from outer space. I don't know. So we're covering the propane tank. We've already kind of covered the tractor. We've covered a half-built tiny house. We've covered stacks of random sheet metal and angle iron, square tubing, things like that. We covered the feed bin, grain. I don't even know where his finger. Boom! Nailed it right there. Y'all see it in the background? Right there. Feed bin. We covered that. We picked that up today, man. That was awesome. I'm going to do something really cool with that feed bin, and it's not going to be too long from now, so you guys be looking out. I got big plans for that thing, and that's why I went and picked it up today, so that's friggin' awesome. Let's move on to some other stuff you're going to need if you're going to be a professional homesteader. All right, you're definitely going to want to get you a lean-to. That one just has a roof, no sides, just to kind of keep stuff semi-dry. If you want to level up your homesteading, you'll enclose that dude and put a door on the front, fully enclosed. But we're not there yet, so that's what I got. The next thing moving on is going to be the sawmill, okay? Every homestead, you need a sawmill, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's also great for videos and stuff like that. So if you can someday, you want to be a professional homesteader, get yourself a dadgum sawmill. That's what I always say. All right, moving on to the next thing you're going to need if you have a homestead is sitting right here, hanging from this tree, and it's a hammock. Because you're getting back to nature and you're enjoying your homestead. You're enjoying having your own piece of land. You're enjoying being out in God's great green earth wilderness. God's smiling down on you. You got a nice little chunk of land. You got your homestead and everything. Sometimes you got to take a little rest. And right there, that's where the hammock comes in. So get yourself a hammock if you're going to get yourself a homestead. The next thing you're going to want to get if you're going to be a professional homesteader is, where is it? Right here. You definitely want to have a fire pit, okay? You got friends gathering up and stuff like that. You're going to have a fire. You're going to have to cook hot dogs. You know, the kids are hungry and everything. All right, let's get a fire going. Let's cook some hot dogs. It's cheap. You know, you ain't got to spend a whole lot of money and everything. Just don't forget the mustard, you know what I'm saying? But every homestead, and I got more than one of these, okay? I got a couple big fire pits that I've built out here on my homestead. So you want to scatter them around and make different places around your property so that whenever people come up and camp and stuff like that, maybe they got a fire pit close by to where they're camping or whatever. So Homestead 101, boom, fire pit. And that's one of the first things you can build too, because it basically doesn't even cost any money. Just put a lot of sweat equity in it. Make yourself a real nice fire pit that'll stand the test of time. And I promise you, you won't regret it. Now back to things you need. If you're going to be a homesteader, we cannot forget the old camper trailer. You know what I mean? It don't have to be a nice new one or nothing like that. It can be an old one. It don't even matter. It could be like broken down. It could leak, whatever. You don't have to stay in it that much if you don't want to. But get you some kind of a camper trailer and just throw it out there on the land. It's going to look good in videos and stuff like that. And you'll be happy that you did. I promise you'll be thanking me later. The next thing you're going to need for a homestead is a picnic table. You see that picnic table right there? My mom brought me that picnic table for me and my wife and everything just to have up here at Sweet 16. And I'm telling you, if you have a picnic table, ladies and gentlemen, you will use it all the time. I promise. We're always sitting down at it. We're always putting stuff on it and everything. And I promise, you get you a picnic table out on your homestead, you cannot go wrong. Just make sure and stain it and put some clear coat. This one has never had clear coat on it, and it needs it bad. So we got to get some clear coat on there. It has been stained, but we do need to clear coat it, because if you don't, that wood is going to start rotting over time. And I promise you, listen to the sound of my voice. If you hear anything, if you get any kind of message from this video today, get this. Please put clear coat on your picnic table. Trust me. Ladies and gentlemen, there are so many things you got to have on a homestead. I'm just touching on 10. There is thousands of things you're going to need to be a homesteader. And I'm telling you right now, it is not easy. You know what I'm saying? Every time you turn around, there's like something else you got to need. There's something else that's going to break down. There's something you got to fix. There's something you got to move. There's a battery you got to charge. There's a tire you got to air up. There's boards that need to be stacked up. There's metal with copperheads underneath it that you got to lift up very slowly so that you don't get bit by a copperhead or a rattle moccasin or anything like that. There's venomous snakes all over the dadgum place. There's spiders and scorpions and lizards and things that are out to get you. You got to be prepared for them. And I'm going to tell you right now, being a homesteader ain't easy. So if you've ever dreamed about having your own homestead, just be ready for it. Take my advice. Go out and do it. I know you can do it. Just quit everything. Quit your job. Sell everything you have. Move to the country. Live in a tent. Live in a tiny house. Live in a pop-up. Live in a bigger camper. Live in whatever you can. Just get out there to that land. Start building that homestead. Film it and tell me all about it because I want to see it. That's it for my little homestead rant for right now. But yeah, it takes a lot. We haven't even hit on anything that has to do with animals, gardening, any real self-sufficiency. We didn't even hit on none of that. So all that's going to be coming in a whole different video later on down the road. So thanks for listening to my tips about being a homesteader, man. I hope they helped. If they did, leave me a comment down below. Tell me about something else you need if you're going to have a homestead. Let me know what it is. I'm curious. I want to know all the stuff, and I want to see what you do at your homestead. So if you got any homesteading advice, drop it in the comments down below. Thanks again for watching, guys. Love y'all, and we'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace. Pizza.